Well, the news just keeps getting better for the San Francisco 49ers as the playoff picture just keeps getting brighter. Now, a lot of teams still need to play today, but let's take a look at the playoff picture as it currently stands right here. In the playoff picture, I want you to be looking out for a handful of teams here. Firstly, of course, the Eagles, Niners, Lions, Cowboys, but also pay attention to the Dolphins and the Bills. So firstly, Eagles are in a tight, good position right now for themselves, and it would take a little bit of help in order for us to overtake that 1 seed, but it certainly wouldn't hurt if we could beat them next Sunday. But secondly, of course, we get that move up because the Lions blow it on Thanksgiving Day when all the pressure's on. They just can't hack it, and here they are moved down into the 3rd seed. And then down below that are the Cowboys, of course, who for them to get a higher seed, even if they had a higher record than us, they would have to overtake the Eagles. So in the division, which would be challenging for sure. And then if you look at the AFC, this does matter a little bit to us, how the Miami Dolphins are playing and continuing to play right now, how the Ravens are playing too, I suppose would be fair. But the Bills, don't forget about the Bills. They're going to come back to later in this discussion here. But up ahead of us, okay, the only team we really have to worry about would be the Cowboys. And if we were worried about the Cowboys, I'm not really worried about them, but if you were worried about them, the first place you'd go to remember why you shouldn't be worried about them is that game earlier this season. Of course, that was like game 5 or something like that. Absolutely destroyed them. And if I remember correctly, Dak Prescott threw 3 picks. He's on one of my fantasy teams. That's the only reason I know. Wish I didn't know. I want to say like 150 yards. He threw for like 150 yards or something like that. San Francisco 49ers defense, outstanding that game. Obviously holding them to 10 points. And you look at what they did even just yesterday, 2 days ago, Thanksgiving Day. Pretty impressive what we were able to do to them, how we dismantled them. So don't be too worried about it. But if you are still worried about it, let's go a little bit further and take a look at their remaining schedule, and we'll compare it to ours here. So Cowboys here in their remaining schedule have Seattle, who are obviously have a lot of work to do to try and get that wild card spot. They have Philadelphia as well, same as us though, so that's kind of a wash. Then they have Buffalo and Miami. So Buffalo, who is very much on the bubble, really needs some W's right now, because if they're gonna get things, figure out how to get back into the playoffs where they belong, they've got a lot of work to do. Very talented team, but they have a lot of work to do. Miami, they're flying right now, and they're gearing up for the playoff run as well. So they're going to be a tough team to beat. Both of those are away games. That doesn't suit you at all. And then, of course, they still have to play Detroit. So compare that to our schedule, which is also a little bit challenging. I'm not going to lie. We have to play away at Philadelphia. That's going to be the real tester game. If you look at all of our games here, Philadelphia and Baltimore, those 2 games that are really like playoff type games. That's where we really are testing ourselves against the best that we can play against before it gets real in playoffville. So at the Philadelphia game, we'll come back to this actually. Let's go ahead and just compare it over to the Cowboys. So we're both playing Philadelphia, so that's a wash. Remaining games: Seattle, Arizona, Washington, Rams. All of those very winnable games. Seattle at home, Arizona 2-9 right now, and they just got Kyler Murray back, but 2-9 this season means nothing to them right now. Washington got absolutely pummeled by the Cowboys, so imagine what we're going to do to them. And then, of course, the Rams, who are also out of the playoff picture right now. So with those 2 schedules, I would take our schedule over theirs for sure. But just to add a little bit more confidence to our video today, if we're looking at Niners, Eagles, let's just say we lose the 2 toughest games. Let's say at Eagles, we struggle, we lose. At home against the Ravens, that would be a tough loss. And then we beat the Seahawks. We definitely beat the Cardinals. We beat the Commanders, and we beat the Rams. We still have a 99% chance of hosting. That's not a bad situation. We can live with that. I could see a situation where we could do even better than this. I think both of these games are 50-50 games. So if, let's say we take the Ravens one and the Eagles is away, so we take the Ravens. I mean, look at us right here. Look at us. If we beat the Eagles and we lose to the Ravens, let's say, now look at that bye week possibility, because now the Eagles look beatable and they look shaky, and that increases our probability of getting that bye week 1 seed. So lots to be hopeful for, lots to look forward to. This is a really, really good part of the season for our team to be turning it on, for McCaffrey to be playing outside of his mind, breaking records and making history, for Purdy to be getting better and better. I don't remember the exact total off the top of my head. It's something like 58 points in the last 3 games. We've outscored our opponents or something like that. I mean, it's just nuts the last 3 games. After that bad stretch, we are really turning it on at the right time, figuring it out. So if you ask me, I'd say, Niner Nation, it's our time.